Hey everybody, Coach Stacy, Lynn here, and I want to thank you for clicking that button. And I hope today that in this short video, I will be able to encourage you. So let me ask you something. Do you assemble evidence against yourself? Think about that question, okay? Do you actually take all this stuff that's in your head and formulate it against yourself? Do you put yourself on trial? That's my question. You're like, well, I don't know. What does that mean exactly? So, what it means is simply this. Have you ever sent somebody a text message, just as an example, and they didn't respond to you immediately? Right? We all have. We've all done that, right? Then what do? You start thinking stuff. Oh, they don't love me. Oh, they're ignoring me. I wonder what it is that happened. How come they're not responding to it? And then you start thinking of all these reasons. So then you text them again. You're like, hey, what's up? And they still don't respond. So then you have all of this stuff going on in your head because they're not actually responding to you. So what happens is when we don't have an immediate response to something, we begin to become great novelists, fiction authors in our head. We begin to say a whole bunch of things about whatever the situation is. And eventually, a lot of people, what they do is they assemble so much evidence against themselves in the courtroom in their head that they despair, they get frustrated, they sink into a deep depression because they feel like nobody loves them, nobody cares about them, they're being dismissed. Does that resonate with any of you? I get triggered this way sometimes. I wish I didn't. I know a lot of stuff, but feelings are feelings, right? And the way our nervous system reacts to silence says a lot about where you're at. So today I just want to leave you with a few thoughts. First, I don't want you to choose to prosecute yourself without evidence. Okay, I'm going to say this again. A lot of people, they assemble evidence against themselves when they don't get a response. Okay? So, but here's the reality. Okay, and I'm going to give you a one-liner here. Here's the reality is you don't know why they haven't responded. And so you're defaulting to two traps in thinking. One is your mind reading, right? And the other one is you're catastrophizing or catastrophizing. You're creating a catastrophe. I don't even know how to say that word right, but whatever. Anyway, you're going to the worst possible thing, right? You're not thinking, oh, they didn't respond to me because they're planning a surprise party for me and they don't want to talk to me because they're afraid they're gonna spill the beans, right? No, you think the worst. And so the thing is are you assembling evidence against yourself when you have none? The reality is you don't have any evidence. And the reality is that so many people sit in this spot because they're like, well, this is just the history of my life and everybody is this way. So it's all or nothing, right? And it's like, no, not everybody is this way. But what happens is, especially in childhood, especially if you've been traumatized in childhood, you will often take this stuff into your adulthood and then into your relationships. I see it with people in the workplace. I see it with people in churches. I see it with people in my own life, and I'm like, are you mind reading? And if I can give you one solid coaching tip that I got through all my years of therapy, it was this. I remember my former therapist, she's a good friend of mine today, and I love her to pieces. But I remember I would be in a session, And I would go, you know what, you know me so well, just tell me what I'm thinking. And she would always say to me, no, because I don't know what you're thinking. And I'd be like, no, you do. You know me really well. You can read me like a book. And she's like, nope, I don't mind read. I do not read minds. You know, the irony in all that is that real people don't read minds. Psychics do. You know, people who are sure of themselves, often they'll be like, oh, I know exactly what you're thinking. And they don't. They do not. Nobody can read your mind. Satan can't read your mind. The only person that knows you is God. He knows you inside and out, and he loves you, and he doesn't have any hard feelings towards you whatsoever. In fact, last week I was looking at a video about the Shroud of Turin, which I do believe was the burial cloth of Christ. And if you look at the evidence of that and all the latest stuff that's come out about it, the brutality of what happened to the man on on the Turin cloth, on the shroud, it's beyond words, right? So God, he laid down his life. Jesus laid down his life for us. He loves us. He doesn't assemble a case against us. In fact, Satan is the one that does that. And he's so good at it, he convinces us to do the same thing, right? So I don't want you to assemble a case against yourself. I don't want you to prosecute yourself without any evidence, right? What happens is you have to learn to sit with uncertainty instead of filling it with worst case scenario verdicts. Stop putting yourself on trial. Stop putting other people on trial that you're not even giving a chance to speak for themselves. I promise you, if you begin to remind yourself, and this is your homework, should you choose to accept it, go through this next week. And whenever you're feeling like somebody is slighting you and you catch yourself reading somebody's mind, ask yourself or tell yourself, really, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. And here's a couple of ways you can figure out what's going on, okay? I know this is going to blow somebody away, okay? One way you can try to figure out what's going on is by actually asking the person. Ask a question, people. You know, let's say that person is not responding to you. You know, you have to ask yourself, okay, well, first of all, you got to tell yourself, it's not personal. What have I done? I haven't done anything to this person. You already know that, right? But you're already assembling a case against yourself. So you have to go, you know what? Hey, I don't know. I just don't know. And that makes me feel uncomfortable. And that's something that you can tell yourself. I don't know what's going on. I feel uncomfortable not knowing what's going on. And that's the feeling, right? My hair is really sticking up today, isn't it? Oh well, it is what it is, people. Anyway, so that's the feeling. The feeling is uncertainty. It could be rejection that you're feeling. But that isn't necessarily reality because you don't know, right? So you have to remind yourself, you don't know because you haven't asked, and you are not a mind reader, people. There isn't a degree that you can go to school for and become a mind reader. Just saying. And my dog has been sleeping for hours, and I finally hit record, and now he's up. Can you believe that? He's irritating. I love him, but he's irritating, people. Okay. So that's one thing. You do not know. So you'll have to wait with the unknown and recognize, you know what? I don't know. And I'm just going to have to wait to find out. You would be surprised if you can flex that muscle. Urgh. I know, right? Look. I know you're impressed, aren't you? Anyway, if you can begin to flex that muscle, though, I guarantee you your life will begin to change for the better because you won't be formulating a case against yourself. You need to stop that, okay? Don't give the enemy any more power than he already thinks he has, okay? So, again, to reiterate, I'm reading my notes here. Do you choose to prosecute yourself without evidence? Hopefully the answer is no, but some of you probably do. And then the other thing is you don't know why people haven't responded, so you have to learn to sit in that uncertainty. You have to learn to sit in that uncertainty, because if you don't, you're going to drive yourself crazy and you're going to create more problems in your life by assuming things and blowing things up when it could be something very simple and benign. Okay. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to leave me a comment below. And I want you to let me know if you're interested in a worksheet I'm going to put together on this particular video. I think it's important that you review what I'm telling you here. And I know a lot of you, okay, look, I know, here's the thing. I know a lot of you watch me and you never comment, and that's fine, because some of you have become my clients, and I appreciate that. But here's the thing. If you don't want to comment publicly, then send me an email and say, hey, I want that worksheet you're going to put together on this issue, okay? And I will send it to you as soon as I can. All right? So today is Friday, April 10th. It is a Good Friday. It's not the Good Friday, but it is a Good Friday. It's a Good Friday to try something new, to reset your mind, to not mind read, to consider why you react the way that you do, even because silence is a trigger for a lot of people, right? And so I want you to remember you're not a mind reader. You don't get a certificate in it. You can't go to any college in the world and get a degree in mind reading. And yet somehow we all miraculously have them. And then the problem is we create cases against ourselves. So I want you to stop that. Stop it. Okay? All right. So do that, and I hope you have a better day.